I just got my nails done and I feel like $1,000,000. Truly. Check this out. Shout out to my nail tech that got these on and popping for me. But it's amazing how really small things make us actually feel good. Little things that you think wouldn't really make a big difference, like getting your nails done, eating a fruit, going out in the sun. Just these small, tiny things that in the grand scheme of things don't really seem that important, but it's those small tiny things that help you to make the big decisions that actually propel you forward. And one small thing that I think is underrated that I found has made a huge difference in my financial decisions and also makes a big difference in my conversations with my clients that are looking to use cash value life insurance to pay less taxes and save smarter is asking the question why. Let me add a little bit more context. The other day, I had a conversation with a young lady that was interested in using cash value life insurance in order to use as an emergency fund vehicle. In our initial conversation, I was mostly just trying to get an understanding of what it is that she wanted to use the policy for and what her big goals were. And as I was wrapping up, as always, I asked her, what questions do you have that I haven't clarified yet? And the question that she asked me is, what kind of life insurance policy do I have? Right? That's it. Literally that. That was the question. What kind of life insurance policy do you have? And I answered her question and told her the different life insurance policies that I have. But the problem is, after that, she just said, okay. At which point, I then asked, well, tell me more about why it is that you ask that. The reason why I asked that is because just a list of the policies that I have is just data, but that data isn't really relevant without any extra context. In order for me to give more color and what it is that she was trying to accomplish by getting that data, I need to understand what the thought process behind it was. And as we continued talking, I also just gave more insight as to why I have each type of policy and how it comes together in my financial plan. And what I find a lot of times with people that are unclear of which way to go is that they don't take the step to ask the question why. And that question is so important because every single person does things for different reasons. If we were all gifted $1,000 and we're told spend this on something that you're really excited about, we are all going to spend it on very vastly different things. I personally am going to spend that money on a trip that gets me somewhere on a beach and a lot of sun. Let me know in the comments where you would spend that $1,000. But the point of this is, if you don't take the extra step to ask somebody why they're doing what they are doing, then you are going to have an assumption in your head about why they're doing that based on how you see the world. But how you see the world is 100% not how somebody else sees the world. So you're going to be making steps to mimic or copy somebody else's financial strategy without first asking yourself, why is that person implementing that strategy? How does their strategy or their thought process make sense or doesn't make sense in comparison to what I want to do and how I want to live? And without asking why and getting context as to the reasoning behind why somebody is doing something, if you just copy what they're doing without first filtering against yourself and what you want and what you're planning on doing, you're going to be following people or following strategies that don't quite align with the life that you want to build. And you're going to end up very disappointed. In addition to asking somebody why they're implementing a specific financial strategy, a great time to also ask why is when you are trying to do something in the financial sphere and you get a no, right? You get feedback that, hey, you cannot do this. A really powerful question to ask is, why can't I do this? Here's a prime example. A few years ago, I was looking to refinance a mortgage, and the person I talked to said that I did not qualify. And I did not just say, okay. I asked them why. And when they told me why, they told me the specific things that I needed to change in order to qualify the next year. And I was able to implement those simple changes that were told to me. And in a few months after I filed my taxes, I was able to get an even bigger loan than what I even was applying for to begin with. And I'm going to just say that I understand that it could feel like you're being annoying when you keep asking the question why. I know that there are certainly people that I interact with in my regular life that sometimes get annoyed when I keep asking them why, because I want more context. I want to better understand. I want to understand like your rationale behind something so I can plug it into my mind and my plans to see if it makes sense with where I want to go and what I want to do. And so I get it if it feels weird, if it feels uncomfortable to ask the question why, but I'm going to ask you, I'm going to challenge you to take the next let's say 60 days. And if you hit a barrier that's stopping you from moving forward financially, or if you're asking someone for financial advice, take the additional step and ask why, and then come back and report back on what your findings have been. Like, has it helped you move forward? Or are you like, this why nonsense is ridiculous and I am not continuing again? I am not above annoying somebody to make better decisions in my life. So I'm going to keep asking the question why. It's something that helps me to make decisive and concrete decisions, which I know a lot of people have a hard time doing that. And in this video, I walk you through a simple 3-step process to help you to get more confident with making decisions and sticking to them, no matter what Uncle Jimmy or your neighbor or the news is saying. Yeah, it's being confident in your decisions is an important skill. And if you're trying to move forward with your finances, you got to get better at it. So I'll see you there.